You fight for competition between the mothers are fighting each other for the attention of the dad. You know that very well, right? And then you're fighting each other to make sure even the kids among them have the attention of dad. And dad is just chilling. So growing in that environment, it did something to me. I'm not the first in my family. I'm the 12th out of the 28. All right? And then the 4th out of my mom. But something happened there. I was very, very close to my mom. I am still very, very close. The last person I talked to before I got in the car. So looking at her face every day and see the pain every day did something to me at the age of 6, 7 years old. And I really wanted to do something to get mom out of that condition. My force, my motivation, I breathe every day so I can make my mom happy. That's all I want in life. That's all I want. And very early, I looked at her and said, one day, it gets very emotional when I talk about her, but very early morning, you know when I'm married, yeah? If you Americans, I'll explain it to you, they understand, but like, when the family, we have 3 wives or 2, the mom has to take 2 days out of the week. In the 2 days, the privilege the mom has is they're going to have to spend time with their husband. But out of the 2 days, the responsibilities are they'll have to clean the house, they'll have to cook for the whole family, they have to do everything. All the labor's work in the house is on her. And then the husband only spends time with her. Early morning, I see my mom waking up at 6 in the morning, do ballet security, cleaning the house, and then have to cook before everybody go home, go to school. And one day, very young, 7, I see her cry, and she's hiding it to us. I'm going to the bathroom, I see her crying in there. And then I came ask her what it was, and she couldn't tell me. But I knew why she was crying, because it was Tabaski. And none of us, my brothers and sisters, had no clothes to wear. No clothes to wear. And you understand how Tabaski is for us kids. We had nothing. And I told my mom one day, I'm very sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, but I told her one day, inshallah, I will make it, and you will never cry again. And from that day, my motivation became to make sure I do something for this beautiful, beautiful, kind woman that is suffering in this house. At the age of 12, I left my father's house for a very, very difficult situation. Inshallah, my book is coming out on May. I'll make sure the school has it so we can give it to you. It'll be very, very easy for you to have it. I'm not doing it for money, but just to encourage young people like you. So, when I left my dad's house, I stayed with my grandfather, who was old, don't have anything, but have wisdom and the force that I needed. He gave me all the time. He told me, you'll be fine. You will take care of mom. And I left Kaolack, I came to Dakar. I stayed here with a family member in Medina in very difficult conditions. I went to high school in Blaise Diagne. I had a baccalaureate. I wanted to get a visa to get to the United States because my professor talked about Kofi Annan and Kofi Annan's story in the United States. So I said, I want to go to America one day. I want to do like Kofi Annan. My friends would laugh at me. Come on, man. You have nobody to help you to go there. Nobody in my family. But I said, I want to do it. One afternoon, after high school, I wanted to go get a passport. I went downtown to find the information about the passport. I needed a stamp. The stamp at the time to get a passport is 15,000 CFA, 15,000 francs CFA. Nobody in my family could give it to me. All right? I went to Centre Dutesek, that one, when they were building it, the cultural center there. They were just building it then. I went and become a mason over there, apprenti mason. That's summer. This is l'été de 1997, 98. When I fais apprenti mason, you may pay 800 par jour, from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. They were paying us less than $1, at least $1 a day to work all day to become apprenti mason, which is masonry to build the center. I worked there for the whole month. Before the month end, 2 days before, I got very sick because I was very, very, very skinny. I'm still skinny, but I was skinnier. And I got really sick because the bricklayer, they were heavy. So I got hospitalized. When the money come, they pay me. I bought the stamp for my passport, which I still hold that passport with me because it brings me down every time I look at it to where I come from. That passport, when I got it, I went to ask for a visa. After I had my I-20, they denied me. I went again the next year, they denied me. I went again the next year, they denied me 3 times to go to the United States. 1998, when I had my baccalaureate, I went to Cheikh University. I looked at the university, as he said, 35,000 people supposed to be in the university. Today, 80,000 people are in the university. Classes like this, people sit on the floor to listen to the teachers speak. In those conditions, I couldn't keep the promise that I did to my mom. I said, I don't have too much time to waste. I have to do it very fast so I can get it out of there. I told her that at 7 years old, here I am almost 20, 21, and I can't help her yet. I couldn't go to that university. I said, I have to go. So I tried. It was difficult. The 4th time in 2000, January 18, 2000, I went back to the embassy. An older guy from Florida who was very kind. He felt my pain. He was able to give me a visa for 3 years, student visa. The whole time I was looking for the visa to go to the U.S. for school, I forgot that, to go to America, you really gotta fly. The ticket. To me, when I get it, it'll be easy to borrow from somebody in the family. We can help to anybody. They can go around and find the ticket for me. You guys understand how tough it is here to have a student visa to go to the USA. At that time, our time, it was very hard. But let me give it visa. We're going to go time. Here, to get a US visa to go to the United States is very, very, very difficult. Very, very, very difficult. They know. If your parents have money, it's easy. But you have no money, it's almost a no. And when they stamp you, you can't get it. I was lucky to get it. It took me January, February, March, April, May, 5 months. I still have the visa in my pocket, in my passport, and I can't leave. Everywhere, everywhere me and my mom go, borrow money. Commerçant buñ dégg yak di jël buñ dégg yak di ketta buñ dégg képp kuñ dégg yaa ngi jaay rek ñu dem ne peut-être nga lebal ñu après ñu fay ñu ko 5e month la mu am suñu benn grand bu jógee. A brother of us came, a friend of us, the family came from Japan on vacation. We go and borrow the money. That's how and there's $20 left out of the money. He gave me the money. We called a family friend also in New York to pick me up. That's how I ended up in New York with that $20. In New York, I cleaned tables. 3 months later, I went to Cleveland. I went to school. I started cleaning tables over there too, in the Marriott Hotel. The same thing I was doing in New York. But one thing happened that changed my life ever since. That first salary that I got, that first paycheck, was $182 out of Marriott Hotel in New York. Guess what I did? I ran that morning to Western Union. And it was that day that I remember told my mom, when I make the first salary, it will be finished. And I sent her everything. Ever since today, she got a maid, her house is built, she's been to Mecca, alhamdulillah, she's been to the United States to me graduation. Alhamdulillah, she's good. I'm sharing that story not to tell you, this is who I am or none of that. I'm sharing that to tell you that everything is really possible. And I know some of you are dealing with the same problems that I'm dealing with, that I was dealing with growing up. I know, because this is our reality in Senegal. Many people marry 2 to 3 wives and can't afford it. It's very common. And then the kids have to deal with those issues and those problems every day. That's why in our culture, our mothers are the center of our cultures. All of them want the same thing I did for mama. Is it right?
Yes.
All of them. This is our center. Our whole hope is our mothers. So what I'm telling you is that if I can leave Kaula 10, 12 years ago in those hard conditions and go to the United States and refuse to be a regular immigrant, refuse to just watch policies being made and I just let people sit on the table and create or decide the future of my family, of me and my children and my son Elijah, who's born in the United States, put it in somebody's hand, some politician's hand to decide my future. I refuse to do that in America. That's why I decided to get involved in American politics. It's my country too, America. Senegal is my country. So here is your country. What is going to be the future of this country depends on you. Not on them, but on you. You elect them, you put the pressure on them to do what you want them to do. You understand that? Yes. When Bush went out and messed the whole country up economically, but also our image around the world. You travel as an American overseas, nobody want to see you. Nobody want to talk to you. Created 2 wars we couldn't afford. We had Afghanistan, then we had Iraq. We couldn't afford, we didn't have the money. While our children in Chicago and Cleveland are dying, we're building more prisons in Cleveland, Ohio, to put more African American children in prison than we were building schools in Cleveland, Ohio. When I looked at that, I said, no, wait a minute. Something needs to be done. We got to do something. This is my son's going to grow up in these conditions. I have to do something. I don't have the power to put anybody in office to do it, but I have some small power to at least be in the middle of everything and support somebody that I believe can fight for the same thing that I believe. And when I started with city council member. Before even Obama started. I went to look the whole city council of Cleveland. For a whole year I observed. Till I found a candidate named Kevin Conwell. And then I supported him. He won the campaign. I left there, supported the mayor. He won the campaign. Then I ran the campaign for our state senator, Shirley Smith. Then I ran another candidate, state representative, also for office. Then I started running campaigns, ran for the Young Democrats, became the president. Then President Obama announced he's running. I met him when he was senator in 2006. He's running. I decided to support this guy, even though he knows. Many people in Cleveland, politicians, even though I was very popular in our community, everybody told me, if he loses, you're done politically. So I was the only young person that was so engaged in politics there. It's unbelievable. I got everybody. And then everyone else, the politicians, they were with Hillary. But I believed in it's not about the name Obama that people see today. I believed in exactly what he promised he was going to do for the country. That's what I believed in. So I had to fight for it. It wasn't easy, but I had to do it. Thankfully, a lot of people didn't believe in us in the beginning. Now they can. That's what it takes. So now we're moving the country far away from where Bush had us before. Now, my question to you is, it's not about, the little thing that I contributed to make sure President Obama got elected. It wasn't enough. Now we're going to fight to make sure the change that we promised to the American people and to the world are put in place. When you hear, what are your fight? Your battles? What are your hopes? Your dreams? Personally, what do you want to do for mom? What do you want to do? Who is that mom in you and your family that you want to help? Yourself, your community, your country, and the continent. We need each one of you to have that fire inside of you, to know that without each one of you, we cannot develop Africa. We cannot make this continent great. We cannot compete with everybody else in the world. It is time now to stop us going to Washington or Paris, begging our hands for help, where everything is here. Can you understand? Everything is here. All of the natural resources you look for in the world, all of them, they are in Africa. Why the Chinese are running to come here? Well, they're the latest. Everybody's talking about, well, the Chinese coming. Were we sleeping? Come on. Europeans have been here for a long time. Americans have been here for a long time. Lebanese have been here for a long time. Everybody's coming to our country, taking advantage of things that we cannot take advantage of. If you go to Kenya, Uganda, I've been all around Africa. I've been traveling so much. Everywhere you go, Who's creating the jobs? Just the Lebanese, the Chinese, the French. Even in Gabon, it's the French, everywhere else, but us. How can you explain that? How? It's because we still don't understand what God has given us. And until you guys, the future leaders of this country, can understand that and start fighting to create a different system, that we have to build this country, to build this continent. That now anybody who come here, you come as a partner. But we're not begging. We don't need that begging anymore. If you go to France today, they have more problems than we do. I just left from Élysée last week. I was in Paris. I have an office there helping young people also there. They got more problems than we do. Why are we still going to beg them and they come and take our natural resources and take it home? When they give us $100,000 here, they take another natural resources that cost a couple of $1 billion back home. When we hear our children is not eating, don't have enough education in our university, people don't have anything, our politicians can have billions of dollars built in their bank accounts, buying offices or buildings in Paris and in the United States, everywhere. And nobody do nothing about it. And you guys should change that. And this is how you change it. By making sure you have the education first. And then you get involved. Like I got involved in America, and when I was there in politics, when I got involved in the community, you have to do that in Senegal or anywhere you are. Because if you don't decide your future, somebody else will decide for you. So what I'm telling you is that each one of you is a leader or a follower. You have to decide which one you want to be. It's only those two. If you want to be a follower, it's okay. You're going to follow somebody who can lead and do whatever, and then you're going to clap your hands. And when it's election time, like they do in Senegal, they give you a t-shirt, have a big head of somebody else. You're going to clap their hands. They give you 50,000, so you go home like, oh, cool. Or you be the leader and you change things. He's not better than you. I'm not better than you. I look like you. I was born here and raised here. I speak Wolof like you. I'm the John Lang and they Wolof I'm serious. And then, why is he there? And some people the same age and everything here is still doing the opposite. Because he dared to challenge the system. He was looking at stuff from the US to tell me, I'm tired of this thing. I'm going home. I'm going to fight for what I believe for my country. I can't do it from the US. When he came here, he was in Matam, in Porto, places in the country that people don't want to go. I've never seen those places. I see on Facebook putting pictures in places in Matam you have nowhere to drive your car. In a year later, he's elected. Now he's fighting. You can do the same thing. Until we take our seat on the table to fight for what we believe in, these things just going to stay the same way they are. So, to conclude, all I'm telling you is that everything is possible. Everything. If you can dream it, you can do it. But if you want to dream, you better wake up. Because if you're dreaming and you don't wake up and work, it ain't going to happen. You might want to turn around and wake up, oh, it was a dream. Okay, go back to sleep, and it's okay. Next thing you know, you're 50 years old. It happens to people. Time is running, and Africa needs its youth. We have the largest growing, you said it again, 65% of our continent are under 30 years old. It's an amazing asset. What are we doing with that? Attire all day? It's not going to change anything. Or turn the attire into money, sell it. Whatever you're doing, make sure that you are the leader that we are looking for, as Gandhi said. Be the change that you want to see in the world. We need you to be the change Africa needs to see. Not only Africa, but the change that the world needs to see. Because if a young Senegalese like you can leave Kaula and today having offices in 16 countries around the world in 4 years, in Japan, in France, in places I never thought I would travel. And yet, 10 years ago, I have a ticket that cost $800 at that time. I couldn't believe it. $800 I couldn't have in 8 months, and 5 months to leave the country. Today, every week I'm in a different country. If I can do that, if a young black man can leave Hawaii and become the president of the highest office in the world, His father don't have no money. His mom don't have no money. All he had was just dreams. And he woke up, was willing to pay the price to fight for it. You can do anything. So believe in yourself. Believe in the beauty of your dreams. Believe in everything that you do. And do it very well and 100%. Because you never know who's watching you. And that person can change your life. That's all I have to share with you. And those who are here as leaders, if you truly believe in yourself, then I can see those leaders to become here to be the next president of the country, the next ministers, the next business owners, the next Macky Salls, the next Senghors, the next Obamas, the next Kofi Annans. They should be in this room. Because 15 years from, 12 years from now, who told me that I would be getting phone calls from head of states, many countries calling me directly in my cell phone to come meet with them to help on youth issues in their countries. I would have never even imagined in my wildest dreams that it can be happening. As soon as I got in this country, I just left France. Another president, 2 presidents called me in Africa. I'm leaving tonight to go there. Alright? So if I can do that, you can do the same thing. If this young lady can, from Chicago now, building a company to create jobs, you can do the same thing. Just fight for it. It's not going to be easy, but it's possible. So thank you for giving me the time. Thank you for listening. And let's